everyone, today our group will present our assignment. Our topic is analysis of lexical and paralinguistic feature in how Gen Z and TikTok are changing the way we speak. Now, let's continue with the first part of our presentation.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Nur Hidayah binti Salim. The introduction: what is lexical and paralinguistic feature? Lexical is a term that refers to the vocabulary of a language, include all the words of a language in addition to the way to this word can be combined in the specific word. Paralinguistic are non-verbal elements that supplement verbal communication, influencing interpretation through a tone, pitch, speak, gesture, and facial expression. Analysis in terms of a lexical feature is a feature rapid spread of a new emerging slang term like it giving, wrist or not cap, and more obscure word like skibidi. Speakers show how a morphological change is accelerating the digital culture, encouraging a conversion of noun to the verb as in to Google or to a friend, reflecting how quickly English discussion then highlight important paralinguistic features that are also influenced by TikTok and influencer culture. A notable pattern is the use of the TikTok voice, which combines talk, rising intonation at the end of a statement with a low, creaky vocal style often used at the end of a sentence. Also, it is shift in the pronunciation with the spoken English increasingly adopting American forms such as pronouncing schedule of schedule. This suggests that exposure to global online is softening traditional regional difference in spoken English.
What are lexical features and paralinguistic features? Let's start with the definitions of lexical features. Lexical features is related to the choice of words which is vocabulary used in communication. It shows how language is structured through words and phrases. Lexical features include word choice, slang, jargon, idiom, synonym, antonyms, and others. For example, for people who use informal words with their friends in any situation, like thanks a lot, bro, bye, bro, thanks a lot, like that. But for formal words, they would be like thank you for your cooperation. They would be like so formal in that situation, usually with the boss, usually with your colleagues or your friends that you are not comfortable with, that you are not always met with, something like that. And other than that is jargon in IT, like the server is down due to a DNS issues. I'm so sorry for that. That is a jargon in IT. For me, in short of the meaning of lexical features is like they using the words itself, not using any other meaning. It used from the vocabulary itself. It's really like the words themselves. Next is paralinguistic features. Paralinguistic features are non-verbal elements of communication that accompany speech but are not actual words. They influence how the message is understood. Paralinguistic features include tones of voice, pitch, volume, pace, pauses, facial expression, gesture, and body language. For example, saying with smile and cheerful tone like I'm fine, you would think that I'm really fine and I'm so happy in that situation. But people would like overthinking with us, maybe because of our expression, like they like us didn't care about that situation. But actually we are really fine when we say like that. Other situation is like when we tell the word sadly and low voice. For example, I'm fine. You might think that I'm not really fine. That is the example. For the short meaning of paralinguistic features is how those words are delivered, like for voice, through expression, body language.
For next, I want to talk about lexical features. First, I want to talk about the slang. Slangs, it refers to informal and non-standard words or expressions that are commonly used in everyday when we have a conversation, especially among younger speakers or certain social groups. The functions of slang is to make the speech more casual, friendly, and readable to the audience. It also reflects the speaker's identity, culture, and age group. For example, instead of using formal words such as very good, speakers may use phrases like cool or awesome to express excitement. Okay, next for code switching. Code switching happens when a speaker alternates between two or more language or dialects within the same conversation. This feature is often used by bilingual or multilingual speakers to emphasize a point, clarify meaning, or connect culturally with their audience. Code switching can also show a respect and add humor depending on the context. For instance, in Malaysia conversations, it is common to hear English sentence mixed with Malay particles such as lah or mah, which make the message sound more local and relatable.
Next, I will explain about repetitions as one of the lexical features. Repetitions is often used by Gen Z and TikTok users to make certain phrases more memorable. For example, when a word or slang is repeated, it helps to emphasize important ideas and make them stand out. Repetitions can also be used to entertain and persuade the audience because it creates a catchy rhythm that matches the fast, playful style of TikTok videos. At the same time, repeating words or expressions allows the speakers to express emotions or attitude such as excitement, humor, or even exaggeration. It is why many popular TikTok phrases spread so quickly. They are short, repeated often, and easy to remember. Another feature is metaphors. Metaphors are very common in Gen Z language, and they are often spread through TikTok. For example, terms like ghosting or main character energy are metaphorical ways of describing real-life behavior. These metaphors help to inform or explain abstract ideas in simple way, making communications easier to understand. They also allow speakers to express emotions or attitude clearly, because metaphors adds color and depth to the message. At the same time, metaphors are creative and playful, so they can also entertain the audience. The creativity reflects how Gen Z communicates in a more imaginative and engaging way.
Like lexical features in the inclusive pronouns is like pronouns like we, us, our, like they include both the speaker or the writer and the audience or the reader in the same group. They won't ignore anyone in that situation. No matter how old you are or how young you are still in that situation when the speaker or the writer use this inclusive pronouns word. The function is to create unity, solidarity, and a sense of shared responsibility in that kind of sense. So like for example, in speech or writing, like we must work together to protect the environment. They use we. That means everyone should protect the environment, no matter how old you are or how young you are, you need to protect the environment. Other example is, this is our opportunity to make a difference. That means anyone could make a difference of that situation. So it doesn't mean that it's like there's no bias in that situation. So here the speaker uses we and our to include the audience, making them feel involved in that situation, in the same mission, in the same what they need to do to this world, like a global or anything that related to it. Actually, according to the video YouTube that we choose is by Sophia Smith Geller in 12:54 minutes to 13:20 minutes. She make idea content by keeping the audience listen by using inclusive pronouns. It hooking people. It actually able to hooking people in that situation. So when they, for me, I think that it will build connection and belonging. It would reduce distance between speaker and audience. It often used in political speech, advertising, teaching, and in motivational talks to pursue and engage. It actually make audience feel part of the group of the talk, so they would think like there is something that they should do together, not alone, no bias at all. So that is for lexical features, inclusive pronoun.
Now I will explain the first two paralinguistic features, which are intonation and pause. First, the intonation. Intonation is the rise and fall of the speaker voice. In the video, at around minute 12.07, one of the speaker used a rising intonation, almost like a question. This make the audience stay engaged and expect more information. The function of the intonation is to guide the listener and to show the speaker attitude. So the second part is pause. Pause are short breaks while speaking. At minute 2.09, Sophia paused before introducing the word linguicide. This pause gives the listener time to process the new words and also crack the suspense. The function of the pause is to make speech clear and easy to follow.
Next, the paralinguistic feature is hand gesture. Hand gesture is an important paralinguistic feature that supports spoken communication. They help to emphasize point, structure idea, and make abstract concept clearly for the audience. For example, at around 4:32, Sophia Smith Geller is explaining how acronym like LO how to move from the text into a spoken language. She raises her hand and gesture outward to illustration the idea of something expanding for digital space into everyday conversation. This gesture visually supports the explanation of linguistic spread. The function of a hand gesture is to emphasize and clarify meaning, making an abstract linguistic change easier for viewers to follow. With that, they make the delivery more engaging than dynamic, helping to hold attention in the video format. Next one is facial expression. Facial expression is the emotion, emphasis, and attitude helping to illustrate how the speaker feels about the topic. For example, at around 2:47, Lucy Hawkins is read to Sophia Smith Geller the explanation the slang term of skibidi and also how even the Gen Z struggle to define it. Lucy raised her head, her eyebrows, and give a slightly puzzled smile. Those facial expression mirror the confusion that viewer might feel, making the conversation relatable. The function is signal emotion and attitude, making the explanation more accessible and engaging. They show how whether the speaker is amused, skeptical, or serious, which should help guide how the audience interpret the discussion.
Eye contact is really important in paralinguistic feature. When a speaker looks directly at the audience or listener, showing confidence, sincerity, and engagement. Eye contact actually one of the strong nonverbal communication that pupils should have, especially to people who love to share their opinion, their thoughts to other people. According to video YouTube that we have choose, Neil Elgeler in 140 minutes to 154 minutes, he have said that this generation that seem completely and utterly exclusive, and they find it funny when he try and use those expression because he use it badly. So it does related with eye contact. Honestly, eyes can't lie if the person doing something badly. Yes, some people really good at hiding their eyes expression, but actually they can't. It just people feel like they okay with the situation that they through. So some people will think that they doesn't want to care about your life, even though people actually know about your eyes contact, your eyes expression. It just they doesn't care, or they just pray the best thing for you. That is eye contact in paralinguistic features.
For the conclusions, to conclude, lexical features highlight how words reflect cultures, identity, and creativity, while paralinguistic features add tone, emotions, and clarity to speech. Taken together, both features reveal how TikTok and Gen Z are reshaping the way English is spoken in the world.